Hey, my friends. Happy Friday. In today's Little Bites, we're going to be talking about channeling with a pendulum. Working with a pendulum is another kind of channeling, okay? You can use almost anything as a pendulum, okay? A pendulum is usually made with a crystal like this one. I think this is, I can't remember. I was going to say moonstone, but that's not moonstone. And I can't remember what it is. I have to look it up. So sorry. But you can find it. I have all kinds. I have rose quartz and I have tiger eye. I have all kinds, but I really like this one. Anyhow, so it's usually made out of a crystal, if you purchase it, but you can use anything like a necklace, like a chain like this, anything that will be long and can have something like hanging from it. Now, you really want something that would have some kind of weight to it, okay? Like a ring. Because if you use something that's really light, it's, it's gonna work, but it's not gonna work as easily, as clearly, okay? So if you're gonna put a ring, put a ring that has a little weight to it, okay? Also, it will be good if you're not going to use a pendulum, if you're going to use a ring, use something that you've been wearing so it has your energy. But if you just grab something random that you just, have, or even an actual pendulum, you want to give it your energy. So I just kind of hold it between my hands and give it my energy for a little bit. All right. Okay. So to start using your pendulum, especially if you're new to using pendulums, you want to ask which movement is a yes, which movement is a no, and then which is a maybe, and what is it. It hasn't been determined yet. Okay, it can give you those four answers, a pendulum on its own. Okay. So, and how you do that? Well, I'm glad you asked. You do it like this, okay? You want to hang, and I wish that you could see my hand as well as the pendulum. You can't, okay? Well, maybe you can, right? If I hold it like right here, yes. So you see that I'm not moving anything. This one has like a little sphere. That's where I hold it, okay? So you're gonna ask your pendulum. So I guess I could move it, but I don't move it. You want to let it be as still as you can. It's gonna have some movement, but you want it to be as still as possible. And you say, show me a yes. Up and down. Now show me a no. And it's gonna start changing directions. Yeah, side by side. It's a no. Now show me a maybe. Yes, thank you. Maybe is clockwise. Okay. Now I'm going to stop it because the other answer is counterclockwise and it's going to be really hard for it. It does it, but it takes a minute to stop and go in the other direction. Now show me, and it hasn't been determined yet. There you go. It's counterclockwise. I'm going to let it swing harder so you really see it. There you go. All right. Now, I have made a contract with my pendulums to have those answers like that, like I just showed you. Why? Well, because I have like five. 1, 2, 3, yeah, like five pendulums. And each one of them had different answers. And of course, I didn't even try to remember the answers. So every time I was doing a reading, I would ask them, show me yes, show me no, show me, right? But then in the middle of the reading, I was like, did it say this way? Did it say that way? So I was driving myself insane. So I said, no, all of you are gonna do it the same way so I can remember. And that is the way that I told them I wanted them to answer me. Yes, no, maybe, and not determined yet. Clockwise, maybe, counterclockwise, not determined yet. Okay. So I keep my sanity. That's a good thing. All right. Now, but you can ask, usually every pendulum has a preferred way of answering. So your pendulum should not change. It could, but it shouldn't change from one reading to the next, which answer, okay? But you can ask the pendulum every time to show you yes, no, maybe, and not determined yet, okay? Now, what you should do with every tool that has predetermined kind of answers, like the pendulum, that has this predetermined way of answering you, or dowsing rods, for example, those things that cross for a yes and go the other way for no. You should test them, okay? And that's very easy to do. And the easiest way you can, choose whatever you want to test them with. But I like to test them with my name. For example, is my name Yari? Yes. Thank you. Is my name John? No. Thank you. My pendulum is working beautifully. All right. Now you can either go further by asking, who are you communicating with? And, there's thousands of possibilities, but I usually ask the spirits that I normally work with. But as I was preparing for this, something came to mind. So we'll see. Okay. We'll see. If it says no, I'll let you know. Okay. All right. Am I speaking with? Am I speaking with my higher self? No. Thank you. Am I speaking with Archangel Michael? No. Thank you. Am I speaking with Mary Magdalene? Yes. Thank you. I am very excited to talk to you, Mary Magdalene. Although I have never talked to you before, I am so open to start working with you. All right. So as I was preparing for this, she came to mind, and I'm like, I have never worked with you before, but hey. So there you go, Mary Magdalene. Okay. Now, it's important. Oh, I got chills. It's important to focus on one question. Okay. It's very easy to get carried away and ask two questions. For example, should I get job A or job B? Well, no, you need to ask job A first and get your answer, and job B and then get your answer. Okay. Or well, if you should get job A, then it's not job B. Anyhow, because the way that our brains are wired is to kind of have a follow-up questions with our question. So we need to really pay attention to the way that we phrase our questions, because sometimes it gives us an answer that it doesn't make sense, or we're like, really? And then if we think about the question, how we phrased it, it's like, well, yeah, I'm mixing two questions there. Okay. It happens all the time. So just be mindful of that. Okay. One question at a time. The other thing I tell people is to keep a journal. Yes. If you use several different tools for divination, or if you don't, if you just use dowsing rods or just pendulum or just tarot or whatever, or just oracle, whatever it is, runes, bones, whatever, you want to keep a documentation of your questions and your answers. And you just want to, put the date, the tool that you were using, the question and the answer provided. Now, because you're going to see patterns and you want to see how many hits, how many, how accurate your tools are. Also, we need to keep in mind how we ask, okay? Because if we are in a space of lack, for example, if we are desperate for whatever, our mood might impact. But if we're open, if we're not married to any answer, we're bound to have better answers, more accurate answers. Okay. Also, keep in mind that any kind of divination tool is subjected to the timeline that you are at that moment. I always say that tarot, for example, is a mirror, but that's true for every divination tool. They're a mirror of the moment. It's like a snapshot of that moment. Okay, so the moment the timeline shift, the answer may be different. Now, most of the time, your guides, your angels, the archangels are aware of the shifts that are going to happen in your life. But you may surprise them, because after all, we have free will. So you may make a choice that is completely out of character, that they did not see coming, and you change timelines. So now your answers are different. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Now, a lot of people say, I don't like the pendulum because the pendulum only answers yes and no. Sure. But you can use a pendulum chart. And it's also and it looks like this, right? It can also look like a semicircle. They sell some that are like semicircles. And I have two. I have this one and I have this one. This one right here has the months, has the days of the week. It has the entire alphabet. It has astrological signs, and of course, yes, no, whatever. Okay. I like this one a lot because this one has a full tarot deck. Yes, this is the major arcana, and then these are the numbers and then in the middle right here we have king, queen, page, and knights, and then the different colors for the different suits. So it's the entire deck is right there. So I like that to give me a little bit of clarity without having to pull tarot, although I don't like pulling tarot really, but I like it because it has tarot on it. Now, these charts are wonderful tools, but they take practice to learn how to use, okay? I also have other kinds of charts like this right here, or you know, this right here with the body systems, for example. And I use this for SRT for health. And I love using those because it's not only, it doesn't only tell me what's wrong in your body, it gives me the remedy to fix it. Okay. Are these charts wonderful? Yes. Are they hard to use? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Because you need a lot of practice because, and I'm going to show you like this. Of course, you have it like that because you have it on your table, right? So the way to use this is that you point the pendulum to the middle and ask your question, and then you see where the pendulum is going, right? Now, when the pendulum starts swinging, it doesn't go, it's an X, it's a 3, it's a, no, it swings, right? So you're like, is it showing me this letter or this letter? Is it showing me this letter or this letter right beside it, or this letter? What is it showing me? So yes, they take a lot of practice to use. They are wonderful tools. I don't want to deter you from using them. Just don't expect miracles because they take a lot of practice. Now, I can use them because I've been using them for a long time, but I still sometimes have doubt in what the answer is. So then I ask a follow-up question like, do you mean this letter or that letter? Or do you mean this or do you mean that? But that takes a lot of practice too. It takes a lot of time more than practice. Okay. Now, my husband has promised me to make one like that. And I'm going to be really happy when that happens, but it hasn't happened yet because he's a busy man. All right. So if you are going to buy a chart, yes, buy it for aesthetics if you like it, buy it because of the elements that it has, buy it as big as you can. This is really small. Okay. So keep that in mind if you're going to purchase one. All right. Okay. The other thing that's important, I have some little notes right there, so I don't forget to tell you. So the other thing that's important is to keep your pendulums and your charts clean, physically clean. So if you have it on top of something and it's been 2 months and you haven't used it, it's gonna have a little dust, so clean it up with a little cloth, but also to clean them energetically. And you can use any of the methods that I have shown you on how to use to energetically clean objects and yourself. Okay, so just keep them clean. And then the other thing is trust the process. Just trust it. Allow the answers to come naturally. Trust your intuition. Often a pendulum chart, for example, is a mix of physical movement and intuitive insight. So stay relaxed to get a clear message. And sometimes you're going to get the download of the message even before the pendulum. At least that's what happens with me. And seeing the pendulum is like just kind of validation of the answer that I got in my mind. Okay. All right. Okay, my friends, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope you have a great rest of your Friday and have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you in the group.